name is Vanessa Lopez. I use she and her pronouns, and I am from Crete, Nebraska. And I am an elementary education major. My transition to UNL was a little bit hard. From high school to college, they told me in high school how college was going to be. I thought I was prepared, and then my first semester was hard just because I was actually experiencing it. I thought I had all the resources, and UNL's great with providing resources. Yeah, it was very difficult to kind of go through it, but I made it, and I'm here now. So having TSA be there, this group of people have really helped me, especially my roommate Madison. She was the best roommate I could ask for, and she was also very helpful into the transition. We both spent lots of long nights together, so with her and the group TSA together helped my transition a lot from high school to college. One of the biggest challenges was probably my time management. It was very hard to go from a full 8-hour day sitting in a classroom to you have a 150-minute class and then you have another half-hour, hour-and-a-half class. It was very spread out, so it was very hard to kind of see when I'm in class and then how much time I have to set aside for homework per class. So I think that was the biggest challenge that I had because I procrastinated a lot. I also was working a lot part-time, so it was very difficult to manage working and finishing my homework on time. So I did spend a lot of late nights finishing English assignments. So I think that was one of the hardest things coming into college. I think getting through that time management, my process was very hard. I knew I was actively procrastinating, and I knew it was a thing I needed to change. So I started figuring out how I could change that. So I did. I tried writing it all down on a planner. That really didn't work because I wasn't very consistent with it. Then I tried typing it on my computer. That also was kind of iffy. But then I did sticky notes on my MacBook, and then that was a lot more helpful because it was right on my computer, and I was able to see it every day. I would plan my days ahead, so I would be like, okay, I have this class at this time, then I have to go to work, then I have to do this, do that. So I would know what was coming up, so then I knew what I had to get done, and it would allow me to have more time to do things. Also travel time, going to work, coming from work. That was also something I learned was I'm not gonna be at work at 5 if I leave here at 5. I implemented that travel time from work to work and all of that. And then to classes as well, walking. I had to leave at a certain time to get there at class before class started and not when class started. So I think learning that and implementing that into my schedule was a lot easier for me to get from class to class and so on. The time management was a very big struggle for me. So I think being actively shown how to do it, I think that would have helped me a lot in the beginning, in my first semester. But also it was I feel very good about the fact that I had to experience it myself, because otherwise I wouldn't have learned it the way I learned it. But being actively shown, that would have helped me. So TAC 330 is a multicultural ed class, and being together in all that class, it's a lot easier to have harder conversations, especially in today's society. I know it was a lot easier because we're not strangers, so it's easier to talk about things like that, and the fact that we are all respectful of it, and we know we have boundaries set of what is expected and what we're able to call each other out for things that maybe normally, typically, we wouldn't be if we were strangers. Living together in Able was fun. I knew every time I would go back to the dorm, I had neighbors who I knew and my roommate, and even like walking down the hall, because my room was very far from the bathroom, so I would walk through probably 20 rooms to get to the bathroom. So that long walk just to the bathroom and like back to my room, many others had their doors open, so like it was super easy to just be like, hey, like how are you today? And like being able to know that you know them, it's nice to know, because me being a big introvert was very hard, and I knew it was going to be hard coming into college, like introducing myself to new people, because that's not normally what I do. I normally just tend to like shy away, but knowing that I knew them, it was a lot easier to be like, hi, how are you? And ask about classes that we had, or also homework. Homework-wise was a big thing too. We would use the study rooms a lot, and since many of us had like similar classes, it was a lot easier to get help with that. So I think living together like that was very supportive and helpful. For my service project, I volunteered at Cedars Home for Children. I would go in the mornings for a few hours and I would help out in the classrooms. I worked with, I think they were 2, 3, and 4-year-olds in different classrooms, and I would just help out with their breakfast time and just interact with the kids there. So I did that as my service learning project, and now I am working before and after school at Arnold Elementary. With all the classes as well that I'm taking, it's kind of all collectively coming together. I think it's something I'm able to implement in my service learning project and also at work. I see students acting this way or that way, and then I think about my classes, and I think about how I can implement that into my work and what I'm doing with the children there. So with TSA as well, it's like collectively, if I know if I'm not doing well enough, or if I need to talk to anyone about anything, I know I can, because we are all very supportive of each other and we're all in the same boat. So I think it's definitely a work in progress, but it's a big progress and like a lot of accomplishments along the way. So if you're thinking of applying, you really should. It is a great opportunity for your future.